Hello everyone, Jose Zayas here reminding you, let's grow in push-ups and prayer. I want to read from 3rd John, the second little verse here, and it says, actually let's just start from the beginning. 3rd John says, the elder, speaking of John, to my dear friend Gaius, whom I love in the truth. Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. It gave me great joy when some believers came and testified about your faithfulness to the truth, telling how you continue to walk in it. And I love verse 4. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children are walking in, or a New Living Translation, following in the truth. I want to have a conversation today about health and growth, especially in these strange times. We're fitting into these weird rhythms, the rhythm of normally being at home, normally working at home, normally staying away from people. And obviously, it's thrown people off. And I don't know where you're at, just mentally or emotionally right now. It's okay to not be okay because we weren't created to be caged in. We were created to be out and to be producing and to be interacting. Yet, there's no greater joy, John says, the elder, to this friend in a church, who in his case, he housed some people who were friends of John and who were coming into the church area. And he says, I'm writing to say thank you to you. And then he heard good word about Gaius, how he was walking, living in, following in the truth. And he says, I just pray for you that it may go well with all of you, with your body, even as your soul, even as he saw the evidence and heard the evidence of him walking in the truth and walking in the faith. He was thrilled as a leader to find out that he was doing well all around and well-rounded. And I want to talk to you today about two things. Push-ups. Let's talk about push-ups first. Push-ups are not my friend. When I was in high school, I used to love to do them. We would do 25 at a time or 30 at a time in competitions. But then you grow older and you realize, why am I doing push-ups? Well, it wasn't until recently we were doing workouts in our little garage. We haven't joined a gym. We have a really old used treadmill, a bike that a stationary bike that someone gave us, and literally from Goodwill, some random weights and bands. Well, we were doing push-ups. My son Jonah was guiding us along, and it was time to do crunches and then push-ups. And I was like, by 5 or 7, no joke, I was dropping to my knees and doing modified, because with my wrists and with my upper body, I had no strength. Well, fast forward, that made me mad. Then about a month ago, even though I've been working on it a bit, a month ago, I got tagged in an Instagram challenge on doing 10 push-ups. And you know what? It took me some practice before I could do 10 in a row. But what was helpful is Carmen picked up, I think at Goodwill, these little push-up assists or whatever. Part of the challenge was for me, my wrists. It was hurting as I was going up and down. And with these, I decided to say, you know what? I want to grow in upper body strength. I'm doing lots of running, walking, lower body strength, feeling good, cardio, feeling good, but upper body strength has gotten kind of weak. What in the world does this have to do with 3rd John 2? The leader in the church, John the elder, says, I find joy when you are doing well in all of you. There's only one of you. There's not 16 of you. There's one of you. And there's the soulish dimension of your life. There's the dimension of your life that is the mind. There's the dimension of your life that is the emotions. There's the dimension of your life that is your finances. There's the dimension of your life that is your relationships. There's the part of you that connects with God. And what John, this leader in the church, says, it brings me joy. And I'm praying that you will grow. Every dimension of you will grow in connection to Jesus. I'm here to say this. Because our rhythms have been thrown off, it is easy to get out of shape, right? So for me, the push-up assists, or whatever you want to call them, bars or whatever, they've been really helpful. And you know what? I've been tracking over the last month or so since I've been tagged, and I want to do 10 in a row and then kind of hit that marker. And then I was like, you know what? I want to do 20 a day and just hit that marker. And at first it was really hard. And then I was like, you know what? I want to get to 50 a day. And that took some doing. And I had to do them 5 at a time and take a break 5 at a time. And then I was able to hit 50, 10 at a time. Oh, that's pretty cool. As of today, I'm at 75 and I want to get up to 100 or 125 a day. What's my point? Strength is built over time and with intentionality. His prayer for his friend is that it may go well with all of you, even as it's going well in this guy's particular case, in the way he's living out his faith. That was going well. He's like, man, I pray that every dimension of your life is growing. Let me just ask you a couple of questions. How are you doing relationally? I think in this season, we want to think about how Jesus is influencing our relationships. Are you getting irritable? Are you really chomping at everyone? I'm finding by the end of the day, I'm not suggesting things to my family. I'm more snapping at them. Well, I think the prayer for me and the prayer for us is that we would grow in being Jesus-centered in the way we treat other people. How are you doing financially? Are you overspending because you have all this time and unlimited internet access? I think our faith is not just a Sunday thing, because frankly, we don't even have a Sunday thing together. Our faith, our walking out, our ongoing relationship with God should influence every part of life. How are you doing in terms of health? Are you eating well or even trying to? Here's my point about the push-ups. It took a device to help me to get from not being able to do 5 or 10 without being on my knees to get to a point where I can do like 75 in a day and hopefully 100 and more. And I feel stronger when I do them now. Growth happens over time, and sometimes devices are helpful. Let's just hit on one thing. I said push-ups and prayer. What does it look like for you to engage in ongoing conversation with God? What does that look like? You say, well, I'm doing great. Okay, what is it that's helping you to keep an ongoing relationship with God? It could be that a tool like this can enhance your prayer life. I've recommended it again and again, and I'm going to suggest it again this week. If you don't have a tool, set a reminder on your device or put it somewhere where you can see it. Find 1 time a day, find 2 times a day. I'm doing the 26 minutes after the hour just because we're 26 West Church. Frankly, I don't care what time you pick. It'd be kind of cool if we're doing it together, but find 1 or 2 times a day and make those your check-in. It doesn't mean you're checking the box and saying, okay, God, I talked to you at 8 a.m. and like 10 p.m. Great, I did my job. That is missing the point. The point is growth. The point is ongoing, right? Relationship with God. And tools can be helpful. So if you don't have a tool, pick one up. It could be a reminder on your phone. It could be, if you're struggling with time, that you set aside with every meal, right? It could be, or even every time I'm going to put something in my mouth, which if we're at home, we're doing all day long. Before I eat that snack, I'm going to pause and for a few moments, give thanks to God. I don't care what the tool is. What I do want to suggest is if you're struggling with growth in the season, I'm talking about prayer, but it could be Bible reading, it could be physical health, it could be financial stability, whatever it is. Find a helpful tool and then mix it with prayer. John the Elder prays for his friend Gaius, so you don't have to do this alone. If you're struggling with prayer, find a tool for yourself, but I would also say, secondly, include someone else in your prayer time. That could be once a day if you're with family or a spouse, or it could be connecting with a friend via text, just saying simply once a day, I'm going to connect with you saying, hey, I'm talking to the Father and I'm praying for you. Let's choose in this season where life has been thrown off of our normal rhythms to be a season of growth and fruitfulness. Friend, don't hear this as a condemning word. Don't hear this as a guilt trip. Hear this as a loving friend of yours giving a reminder that it's God's will for every dimension of our life to grow. Because of Jesus, every part of me should work towards thriving. I love you, and our entire team loves you. We're praying for you. If we can be of any help in any way in getting you in a healthy rhythm, simply reach out. hello@26 West Church, just saying, help me with some tools. And one person on our team, maybe me, maybe someone else, would love to connect with you. God bless you, and I pray that you'll grow in health.